Well, greetings, backpackers. Once again, I am going up to the mountains, going up to Echo Lakes, and once again, there's this construction stop just 3 miles short of Echo Lakes, and it's a turn off the engine and wait kind of thing. So I turned off the engine. I went in the back and I got my my window shade thing that I had wrapped around my backpack to keep it cool on the drive, and I brought it up front to block the windshield because the sun is blazing through, and I'm still recovering. Yeah, I should have done something. My arms really got burned last time, and they've been recovering, but probably should have a hard cover over them hiking, and I didn't bring anything for that. That's a shame. Maybe I'll improvise something. Okay, here comes the traffic in the other direction. Construction truck. So we'll probably be going in a few minutes here. Or not. Anyway, I am planning to hike out of Echo Lakes. I'm going to take the water taxi again because I'm lazy, and it's going to be another hot one. It's supposed to be high of 83 or 84 today. That's uncomfortably warm at this elevation. I'm going to hike on the PCT and go past Lake of the Woods and head over to Desolation Lake again, like I did with Pujita 7 years ago now. I reviewed the video. And my plan is that I want to camp below Desolation Lake on the creek, which turns into a raging cascade. I want to be near falling water. I want to camp near the creek, near some kind of cascade, and have lovely, lovely water sounds to put me to sleep at night. And it's going to be really, really dark. We're approaching a new moon, and the moon is setting way before sunset anyway, so it's going to be no light except for the Tahoe Basin, and I'll be facing Sacramento, so it'll actually be some glow from Sacramento, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to put this down and get ready to drive again. Oh boy, almost there. Still on the side of the road, but you can get a sense of the burn zone here and what that means. Every tree near the highway that burned out but was left standing has got to be cut down. Hundreds and hundreds of trees. It's taking months. They'll eventually be cutting down lots and lots of trees. There are piles of lumber. You can see in the back there's big cuts, big log cuts. They have them stacked, the size of apartment blocks up ahead. Okay, I'm impatient. Let's get going. It was about 5 minutes ago I turned this thing off. Let's go.
Try to hold on to yourselves and your hats. It's windy, huh?
Already got to the Triangle Lake Junction. Oh, it's a hot trail, and of course I'm hot and tired. And this time I got off the boat taxi, and a whole bunch of people got off with me and started hiking, and a bunch of people came from the trailhead trail, met up with the PCT. So there's this huge mob all going up the PCT at the same time. So it's the first chance I've had to be alone with my camera. And there's people right behind me that are gaining. Inconceivable. Oh, getting to the tree E section. Nice. Or a tree E section. It's very blustery. I'm having difficulties with my umbrella today, but it's hot, so I definitely want it. Nothing. Only other thing to report is that I didn't bring hard candies with me. I always do that, and it keeps my mouth from drying out. Well, that's enough for now. Ooh, oh, it's too cool to not stop here. I have to stop here for a while. Hike is going pretty well. Sun is pretty damn hot, but the wind is blowing hard. It's making it difficult with my umbrella. So I have to pause every now and then. But here's the Tamarack Lake Trail. And there's a hiker. Well, I'm in the middle of the real steep part at the base of the one switchback. And it's nice and cool and quiet. Well, it's cool under the... I'm hot. But I got a nice cool spot here. It is 78 degrees in the shade. When I'm in the shade for a minute or two, it gets down to 76. When I'm on the trail for a while, it gets up to 79. So it's not that bad. It's not the 80-something I was expecting. And pretty crowded trail, and it was crowded when I started, so it took quite a while for that group to thin out. And I finally got a little bit of peace and quiet here. There's no one behind me. There's a guy way on the other end of the switchback now. He just started coming down. So it's nice and peaceful. It's not great hiking weather, but it's pretty good. The shade is nice. The umbrella is nice, and it's very breezy. I'm putting my arms up to protect my umbrella quite a few times on this part of the trail here. A bit of the Caldor fire struck here. Well, I'm past the exposed rocky switchback area, and I passed the second Triangle Lake junction. And I'm getting pretty close to the Lake of the Woods turnoff. Yay! So, pretty much the hard hiking of the day is done. Except for the cross-country stuff, which there's always some part that's going to be tough. Alright, let's go. Doing that lovely little section of Hyper's Meadows. I'm always in a good mood when I do this, because the apex of my day is pretty glaring close. I just need to climb, well, maybe 100 vertical feet, but probably more like 50. And it's really just a couple hundred yards. So that will be the true apex of the day, and that I'm looking forward to. But first, this lovely hike through the meadow. Well, that cairn there is the apex of the trail. I've already walked past it. In fact, I remember standing right here during my thunderstorm video, shooting a minor video. I've been leapfrogging with some people day hiking out of their camp from Lake of the Woods. And there's Pyramid Peak up there. Just want to catch my breath all together before I start going down. Making my way around the lake. I'm very close to the designated camp spot over here. It's really pretty. Well, I'm down near the end of the lake. In a couple hundred yards or so, I'll be leaving the trail and heading over to Desolation Lake. And I think I'm going to adjust my plan. It's really windy. I had difficulties with the umbrella at times, and it's going to be really hard when I leave this forest. I might have to do the cross-country hiking without the umbrella, because there's no forest over there, and a lot of wind. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. But finally, I mean, it took this long for the trail to really get quiet. I've been sitting here for 4 minutes or so, and I haven't seen anybody walk by. I'm south of the second, or is it the third? I'm past a really big campsite. There's a bunch of tents there. In fact, there's a bunch of people staying here. I'm doing well. I'm doing quite well, I think. I'm kind of tired. My boots are hot. My feet are hot. My legs are a little tired of all the uphill, but I don't have much uphill to do. I have one really nasty bit. I have to go up and over a real steep part, but it's only 60 feet vertical or something like that. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good for being an old guy who doesn't like to exercise. Carrying a bunch of weight. Had some fun chats with people along the way. But right now a nap sounds really good. The sound whistling, the wind whistling through the trees. Oh, hell, I can't stay here long. I'll fall asleep. Really is nice. So there's the lake through the trees there. And pretty soon we're off-roading it. And always exciting. Never a dull moment, and it's never what I expect. Although I've done this before. Actually, back to the face here. I had a really old map, maybe my first Desolation map. It was in black and white. And it came in, I think it came in a Wilderness Press booklet. And it showed a cross-country trail going to, I can't remember the name of the lake, little lake that's right next to Frato. Actually, it says Frato, F-R-A-T-O, on some electronic maps I've seen. But it's Ropi Lake. And when I went with Fujita to Desolation Lake, I knew that the trail went around Ropi Lake and over to Desolation, but when I was there with her, I could not see any obvious way to do it. But for this trip, I read the 1969 guide, and it describes the route exactly to get over there. Going straight across from the dam at Lake of the Woods, straight west, and until you get to Ropi Lake. Then you go around the south of the lake, all the way around to the other side until you're cliffed out, it says, until there's a cliff blocking your northern progress. And then you just climb straight up west, and you get to the top of this thing, and you should be able to see Desolation Lake on the other side. Fujita and I didn't do that. We ended up going all the way around, almost all the way around Lake of the Woods, and coming back down, going south from north to Desolation Lake, an extra half mile at least. So I'm determined not to do that this time, even though it requires going straight up a rock at some point. But I'm going to eat some more here. I'm going to relax some more. I really wanted to do a big pack-off break, but I can't do it because I'm so close. The same old thing. It always gets me, and that last mile just murders me. And it's going to do it again, so I'm going to eat a bar, drink more water before I do that. Well, I'm below the lake. You can see the 4x4 of the last camping area, and there's a bunch of camp spots, tent spots right around that thing. And here is the southern edge of the lake, and lots of illegal camping here, and camping destroyed by the Forest Service. And I'm heading this way in general. And just a few moments later, here I am at Ropi Lake. Oh, there's a pair of wood ducks? No, mallards over there. And I can see my route. The big rock over there is the cliff where I'm absolutely not supposed to walk to the right of. And there's a bunch of manzanita over there. I'm just going to gradually climb the manzanita, and it's not a very big hill. And then I should see Desolation Lake on the other side. And I took off my umbrella because it looked like it was going to be really windy when I got to the exposed area, and walked all the way underneath Lake of the Woods without experiencing any wind whatsoever. But now it's getting windy, so I'm glad I took my umbrella off. And here I am up above Ropi Lake. Lake of the Woods in the background. Well, the route that I had spotted from the other side over there just a minute ago, the route that I decided to follow, is the route that everyone decides to follow. And there was a pretty nice trail a lot of the way. When I say trail, I mean an indication of where you want to be going. Not trail as in an easy path to walk upon. It's not easy, but you know, I knew that. I'm going up and over 60 feet or so, the book said. And you know, a very steep angle. So I'm taking one little break here, and I'm pretty darn sure at the very crest is right there. I'm almost there. So I should have eyes on Desolation Lake in just a moment. It's really hard here, but let's try it with a camera. I mean, it's very steep, but I got decent boots. And let's see if we get that sudden clouds parting, God speaking kind of experience. This may be a beast, but man, we went way farther around when I did it with Fujita. Yep, this is the top. Yay. Good campsites all along the bottom of Lake of the Woods, by the way. And here we are. Big old pyramid peak. And all my breath is gone. And I don't see the lake. I hear the water. Oh no, that's wind probably. Huh. I have to check my map. I'm pretty sure it's right down there. So I'm gonna start walking that way. Here we are at lovely little Desolation Lake. Not so little, good sized lake. It's sprawling. And I'm at the campsite where Pujita and I stayed. I was thinking, I just want to go there. I want something certain, I want it now. But the Rangers got here and kind of messed it up. It used to be a perfect tent spot here. It's now less than perfect. And an even better one over here. It's been thoroughly destroyed by placing rocks. I think. Maybe it's just mildly destroyed. I don't know, it's messed up. Okay, so I'm going to go downstream a little bit. Well, this is a spot pretty much where I wanted to be, but I don't see any campsite here. So I'm just going to go just a little bit more downstream and see if there's something perfect there. I'm really running out of energy, and I really hope I don't have to hike back uphill with my pack to a lesser campsite. Really don't want to do that. So I'm looking hard down here. I found one not so great site, tent spot out in the sun. I don't want that. And I'm running out of places where I might find a campsite here. Sure feels good to have the pack off. Oh God, does that feel good. Oh, freestanding tent could go here maybe. Man, it doesn't seems like Ropi Lake is awfully close. Okay, that's it. What do we got here? The drainage. It's not big enough. Man. The water is raging. It's wonderful. Okay, there's something over here. Very unlikely. There's another thing right there, right on top of the cliff edge. Ooh. Even though that's exposed. No, nothing there. Nothing here. Nothing nowhere. Oh, there's a grassy zone. No, that's no good. Okay, back to the pack. I just realized I'm without my pack, and I'm farther away from civilization than I can go right now without water. Don't have my emergency beacon with me either. Okay, not very smart. Well, once again, greetings from Desolation Lake. But this time, I'm completely wiped out. I really had to do that hike lower here because I really, that was the area that I identified from the maps and Google Earth and such as a really prime creekside space. There's some trees over there, there's a raging river, but there just isn't any flat space big enough for a campsite. Too bad, but now I know. But I'm back here at this lovely little site. It used to be nicer. I'm afraid it's probably ticketable now. I remember Pujita and I discussed that, and we just looked at the layout of, the rangers usually make it pretty clear that they don't want you camping here by making it hard to camp there. And if that doesn't work, they put a little sign there saying, don't camp here. So I think there's been some efforts to make it less campable, but it's campable enough. It's going to have to be because I'm pooped. And I think I remember there being another campsite, a really weak one, way on the other side of the lake. Just don't have the energy to move again. I felt pretty good when I got here the first time. I was like, yeah, I could set up camp right now. Let's get this going. But I really wanted to check out downstream. And if I found something downstream, I'd want my backpack with me, and I wouldn't want to come back up to get it, so I brought it with me. Not the smartest thing. But in the end, everything went according to plan. The plan was to camp there if I could find something, and camp here if I couldn't. So that's good. I had planned to have a little bit more energy at this point in the day. Once again, I could have stopped at Lake of the Woods, just a mile away from here, and had a nice break, take off the boots, take off the pack, drink a bunch of water, eat a bunch of food, to cool all the way down, and then continue again. And then if I had done that, I'd feel just fine now. But it was only a mile, so let's hurry up and do that. And every time I end up like this. I got into camp, and if there was a bed here, I would have plopped down on it. I almost plopped down on the ground. Threw my backpack off, took my chair off my backpack, grabbed some water, and I sat down and talked to my camera. I'm just too tired to do anything else right now, but I'll nibble on something, and I'm almost out of water, so I got to deal with that. Oh, I'm tired, but man, I love this place. And I do at least have a pretty good wind-sheltered site here. It's much better than other places that I had been today. And it's not creekside, but I can hear the water falling into the lake over there, and I can hear the water falling out of the lake back there loudly. And that's all I need. It's lovely. This really is a lovely little lake and a lovely place to camp. I just wish it was a little more legal than it appears to be. Wow, I could take a nap right now. But no, I'm going to go get water, set up my tent. Wish me luck. Well, finally, I'm sitting down and I'm relaxing with no guilt. Because I got the tent up, I've done my laundry, I've washed up mostly. I need to do some more. And damn, I'm really strung out. I really did wear myself out more than I had intended to. Of course, should have taken a break at Lake of the Woods, and I didn't. And I've been crabby. That's a good way to put it. Little things go wrong, and I get petulant, immediately. And I recover quickly because I realize I don't want to be exacerbating that. Okay, so I'm sitting in a comfortable, shady spot. No work needs to be done right now. Got plenty of water, more water on standby. Honest to God, I've done pretty well. Honest to God, it's almost done. Honest to God, I deserve to sit and not move for a while. Man, I'm tired. And I need to eat. I need to eat the lunch that I intended to eat at Lake of the Woods, and it's 5:30, So I'm going to have lunch and dinner kind of back to back. Stressful, tired, blah. And man, it's really too bad. I remember having enjoying this space so much before, but man, I'm really worried about my tent spot there. I am really worried about it. But I've worried in the past and things have worked out just fine. Good thing I have this big, huge, forgiving pad. Doesn't seem to matter as much if you're a little downhill when you got a big pillow raising your head, and you don't want to hear all these details. Details. So I finished snacking for the moment. It's really getting pretty here. Winds are getting very gusty. Girl camped at Lake of the Woods told me that it was like this yesterday, and the winds died down at night, like it often does here. But I had my little sit down, and after I finished munching a bit, I closed my eyes. I leaned back. I got the chair set up against a rock so that it has back support, more back support than it does when it's freestanding, enough that you could close your eyes and zone out for a moment. I could have fallen asleep, but while my eyes were closed, I heard voices. I'm pretty sure it was somebody coming over the little ridge that I just came over. The voices are gone now, so they're not in this basin anymore, I don't think, or they went upstream to that other campsite I'm aware of. Nice, because I really want this to myself. Well, there's no way anyone else is going to stay here, but you know what I mean. Got my pad pumped up. I decided after my little sit down, I have got to get up or I'm never going to get up again. So I got up and got the pad blown up. And I'll do a couple more chores, but I'm still really weary. I noticed that even my hands were tired because my hands have been working nonstop, with the poles and then setting up camp. And I'm sitting down and I'm working, with food and opening up the bear canister and stuff. And I suddenly realized my hands are exhausted. So I stopped. That's when I closed my eyes. I just stopped moving for a while. Okay, just stop, I told myself. And boy, that was restorative. I really recognized that I'm hurting. I should take a Motrin with dinner. That would help. Yeah, I overexerted myself again. I really should have stayed here when I got here the first time. All these lessons that I learned, and I never seem to take heed of them. Okay, camp is even more set up now. And I'm even more tired. I'm just tired. I notice when I exert myself, just 5 seconds of grunting exertion, which isn't much, afterwards I'm panting, so that ain't good. So I'm testing out my nighttime perch here, and boy, it's a nice one. I'll be able to see all of the sky, the southern sky. I had hoped to be down above Ropi, but that just didn't happen. Oh well. Still feeling off. The more I drink and eat, the better I feel. I need to walk around a little bit too, because I get really stiff. I got long pants and long sleeve shirt on now, not because it's so warm, but the breezes give me a chill and make me uncomfortable. So this is an old man in the mountains. It's hard. And it gets harder every year. Sigh. Not sure if you can see Pyramid Peak there. It's in an alpenglow kind of situation. And I can just barely see the top of the mountain from here. Crazy. Sunset on the campsite at about 6:30 or so. Very mellow. Winds are slowly dying. Still breezy, but no gusts like earlier. Dinner is almost done. I'm hungry. Well, I'm beginning to come back to life. Just finished good old beef stroganoff, single serving. I'm the only person in the world that has a stash of single serving beef stroganoff Mountain House. Yum. But I had to kind of push it down. I mean, it tastes good, but I just wasn't really interested in eating it. But I ate it nonetheless, and it's reviving me. I'm still sitting in the same chair as I ate dinner in. I imagine if I get up and walk around a little bit, I would feel even better still. So I'll probably do that in a moment. But in the meantime, it's just gorgeous here. Sure do love this little lake. It's pretty. Winds are calm, under 10 miles an hour now. No gusts bigger than that. And the sun is down everywhere. I'm not going to get any alpenglow here. There's no... Pretty much Pyramid Peak blocks all the sun from giving me any alpenglow. Well, that's okay. List. Listening to some old Neil Young by the last light of the day. Watching bats flying by. This is a great album here. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know Neil Young, or you don't like Neil Young. If that's the case, skip ahead a little bit. But this is an album he released a couple years ago that was put together in, I think, 1974, something like that, right in the middle of his prime. And it never got released. A couple of songs got released in different versions, but it's really strange to have one of your favorite musicians suddenly put out a classic album from 40 years ago. And it really fits the mood here. It does for me, at least. I think the bats like it. Greetings, campers. The evening was just amazing. It's about 11 o'clock. Finally in the tent. I really could have stayed out there for a long time. It's the best sky viewing, night sky viewing I've had in a long time. Man, Milky Way is just from horizon to horizon. Milky and cloudy and full of stars. It's just astonishing. It's dark out there. It's really dark. I think it's comfortable enough in here. We'll see. Really tired. There was moments that I was thinking I could stay out there until 2 a.m. And then there were just moments where I would close my eyes or lean back or something, and then I would just feel the need for sleep. It's definitely there. So here I am in the tent in the dark. All right, good night. Well, good morning, campers. It's a beautiful day here at Desolation Lake. I'm at the southern lobe of the lake, hiding from the sun already. It's 9:15, and I must have gotten up close to an hour ago, maybe not that much. I've already done a poop walk. I've already filtered a bunch of water, and I'm sitting here with my first cup of coffee. Feeling pretty good. I slept fairly well. I was in the tent for 10 hours. I'm sure I was awake for 2 of it, maybe 3, so that's at least 7 hours. I have sleep apnea when I'm up here. I kept having dreams of not being able to breathe and struggling to get a breath, and then I'd wake up and rearrange myself and I'd be fine. Well, I'm not going to bring any sleep apnea device up with me backpacking, that's for sure. I deflated my pillow a little bit so that my neck wouldn't be at such an angle when I was lying on my back, and it didn't happen again after that. So maybe that's fine. But it's a very sunny campsite. I'm going to be struggling to find shade much of the day. And sorry, adventurous kind of folks looking for me to do adventures. I'm not really feeling adventurous today. Kind of like to climb a tall hill maybe, but I feel really exposed yesterday. My hands got in the sunlight and started hurting. So I'm going to be mellow around the camp and just listen to music and admire the beauty, which there is plenty of here. I woke up not only to sunblasting in my tent, but the smell of smoke. Somebody was having a campfire around here. Wasn't me, Rangers. Wasn't me. I'm out on the big rock perch above my camp while it's in the shade. Breezes are picking up here. Helicopter flying overhead. I think I changed my mind. I think I'm going to go hike down where I was yesterday looking for a campsite. There was some really cool views, and I just really didn't take them in. I think I'll try again to find a campsite over there, but mainly just to take in the views and to get a walk. If I feel up to doing something, right now, doing nothing really feels like a good idea. Man, it is so pretty here. There's these little views all over the place. There's a nice little shore there. Winds are kicking up pretty good again. A while I was sitting on the rocks looking at the lake a little while ago, and the wind started kicking up, and I got a little chilly, so I decided to walk around in the sun a little bit, still wearing long sleeve pants and long sleeve shirt. I saw that my thermometer got left out in the sun, and it's at 104 degrees sitting there baking in the sun. It's now down to 68 and still falling. Maybe it's stabilizing. Weather on this trip has been much more normal. Much more what I'm used to. Windy days, calming at night is normal. Temperatures got kind of chilly last night, down to, it was 50 degrees in my tent at around 2 a.m. So it was certainly down in the mid 40s or lower outside at the low. Maybe even high 30s, maybe. I don't know. Pretty chilly. But that's the way I like it. Summertime in Sacramento is just hell. And when you can actually feel cold, it feels good. So I'm sitting down here in my super comfy spot that's blessedly shaded. Camp is getting a lot more shade than I expected in the morning. Nice. I've already started grazing. Pretty hungry. I didn't eat that much yesterday. And I really like the bear canister for that. For just grabbing it and looking at all your food and thinking about what you want to eat. That's kind of nice. It was here that I probably did the best bear hanging ever in my whole life. Standing on top of a boulder that was 8 feet above the ground and throwing over a branch that was directly above the ground and not me. So the branch was 25 feet high, maybe 20 feet high from me, 30 feet from the ground. I mean, it was way up there. But I didn't have to do that this time. And it's a pain because you get your food out of your bag, you get the food that you need, and you hang it back up. And if you forget something, you have to go back and get it. Or if you decide to change your mind and you want something else, I have to go back and get it, string it up again. And that tends to lead to, yeah, I'd rather not. I'll just settle with what I have here. But if I have everything here and it's always protected, that's kind of fun. Ooh, what do I want to eat? Ooh, little treats. I didn't bring that many treats with me. No chocolate, no sweets. I'm in such a habit of doing that I forget to buy candy when I'm going backpacking. That's the one time you're allowed to do it, as far as I'm concerned. I gotta tell you, backpacking while obese is not fun. I have got to lose some weight if I'm going to get more serious out here. I'll worry about that some other time. In the meantime, I'm just going to sit here and lounge and eat some food. All right. Ooh, the winds are at full ferociousness like they were yesterday. Well, while I was sitting down in the shade here, grazing in my bear canister, I decided to pull out this chocolate milk package and read up what it had to say. And it said that to put the contents of the package along with 8 ounces of water into a sports bottle and then shake it really hard until it was all hydrated. And I don't have a sports bottle. I had to use my cup, which thankfully I can seal and shake it up. And I gotta tell you, that was really good. I mean, it wasn't as good as my local dairy crystal chocolate milk, which is just out of this world. But it was a quick 230 calories. And it went down easy. And it cleaned up easy, surprisingly. It looked like it was going to be a disaster, but it's very water soluble. And damn, that was good. So I ate a Bobo's bar for breakfast and finished off the salami and cheese from yesterday, and then with that chocolate milk, I'm feeling pretty fortified at the moment. Not that I'm going to be doing anything right now, because I still feel the effects of the exposure from yesterday and really feel like I should not put myself into the hot daytime sun. Maybe in the late afternoon I'll go hiking around down there, or hiking around to the other campsite to see what that looks like. Yeah, that's enough for now. Well, one thing that isn't going right on this trip is my electrical devices. I'm really frustrated. I intended to bring my charger thing, which is substantial and would give me more juice than I would need, really. But it's the only one I have. And it has all a bunch. I can charge 2 devices at once, and I have 3 different cables for the camera needs a USB-C cable, my phone needs a lightning cable, and anything else needs a USB cable, which I don't really need. But frustration of all frustration, my Delorme is this thing stopped working altogether. It is not powering up. It's never run out of juice on a trip before. And I'm wondering if it just died. Really frustrating. So I had this big heavy hunk of stuff doing nothing at all. And I got this rather heavy hunk of stuff that can charge my phone, but can't charge anything else. Very wasteful. Really bummed. So I have to be careful walking out of here. Really frustrating. I paid money for that thing for months and months when I don't even use it, and now I need to use it and it doesn't work. That's arg. And I texted my sister in Fujita yesterday, and I never got a reply. I'm wondering if it's because the damn thing doesn't work. Arg. Well, something had to go wrong. I mean, it's been a pretty nice trip so far, equipment-wise. Oh well. Back to my very important nothings. I'm taking a short walk just to the other side of this lobe of the southern lobe of the lake. It's pretty over here. Nice little grassy patch. But I don't think yesterday I just made a beeline to the other bodies of water that are lower down, because that's where I wanted to camp. But I didn't even check over here. There could be a campsite here that I don't know about, and I want to know about it. I'm just downstream of the lake. Nice little pond just below it. Another waterfall. This is that same pond from the other side. Man, this is really pretty here. But I don't see any place for camping. Nice little waterfall here. Huh. Okay, I'm just gonna go a little bit farther and see what I see. And continuing downstream. It is still just beautiful. I'm not sure if I investigated this little pond here, but I'm going to go to the end of these rocks and see what it looks like, and then I'll turn back. Yeah, this was the body of water I was hoping to camp at. This is where I came to yesterday. And I looked downhill over there quite extensively, and I looked around over there quite extensively. Didn't see anything. So that's that. Too bad. It would have been great if it worked out, because these little ponds are just so pretty. Water rushing everywhere. It's just remarkable, and it's late August. There isn't water rushing like this, you know, anywhere around. Let's see, Echo Lakes has water rushing, and that's it. There's not really anything else that's gonna do it. Man, this is pretty. The big peak up there, and you can see the basin. It's quite steep down below where Ropi Lake is. And that's it. I'm going to get out of the noonday sun and get back into some shade. But it was a nice little excursion. Yep, today just turned into a lazy day of moving from one shady spot to another. I'm at the base of the peninsula now. And feeling pretty darn lazy. But feeling good about it. I don't have a problem. Just finished a Stephen King short story. That makes me want to go in the tent and nap. But the tent is just getting blasted by sun. And so is the rest of my camp. So that's why I'm over here. Because I don't need these things on. So I'm just going to relax. Big surprise. Well, it's a bit after 6 o'clock. Haven't done much of anything today. By design. Too much sun getting on me here. Yeah, I took a nap. Felt really good. And I've been kind of sleepy ever since. It was pretty short. Listened to a short story while I was in the tent. And I just feel the effects of exposure from yesterday, and it just feels smart to stay out of the sun and not exert myself too much today. Just little walks around the peninsula here for the most part. And that's probably it. I still might go out to downstream a little bit again to get a bigger view. Don't have to do that. Just like yesterday, it got really windy in the late afternoon, and it's beginning to calm now. It's my thermometer says 70 degrees. think it's been cooler than the forecast said it would be. Forecasts seem to indicate it'd be in the 80s, low 80s. And I never saw my thermometer get into the 80s, except for when it was out in the sun. It's 104. Okay, I'm going to be getting dinner going pretty soon. And I'm not using the camera much since I'm short of juice for it. Alright, check in later. I just want to get a panorama of this blissful evening here. Not a bad view, huh? That's about 180 degrees there. Well, once again, I'm happily in my tent here. We've got a new component tonight. We've got wind sounds mixed in with the water sounds. And it sounds really nice. Got the tent strapped down pretty tight, and it's not making any noise so far. So far, so good. Nothing new to report. Except for my plan to get out. I plan on hiking out at 1 tomorrow. Getting to the dock by 3. That's the plan. And I don't really have any grand pontifications here. So, good night. So long. See you in the morning. Oh, it's another perfect morning here at Desolation Lake. It's very sunny, not a cloud in the sky again. It's a little breezy today. It was breezy last night, not too much. I don't know if I slept all that great. But I feel fine. I've started some packing already. Got some water dripping. And gonna lounge for a couple of hours and really enjoy the place before I take off. Yay, what a great place. Still have not seen anybody since I've been here, since I left the trail. Well, it's about 10:15 or so, and it's beginning to look like I'm really leaving here. The tent's gone, and everything hanging in the trees is no longer hanging in the trees, and stuff is slowly becoming consolidated, and I'll easily be out of here by 1, which was my desired time. But if I get bored, I'll just leave early. Yeah, it's looking pretty good here. I've had finished my 2 cups of coffee, had a bowl of oatmeal, and now I'm just relaxing in a little bit of shade because I got kind of warmed up there tearing the tent down. Not for now. Well, it's about 11:30 and I'm all packed. And this huge gust of wind kicks up just now. Yeah, I'm just finished packing and I realized I've just been packing all morning, and I want to relax a little bit, so I'm going to drink some water, relax a bit, wait for the winds to die down, and get on out of here. Well, I'm ready to roll. It's about 11 o'clock. It's perfect hiking weather, except for it's too windy. I can't, the wind is great, but I can't use my umbrella while it's windy. But the temperature's in the low 70s, quite a breeze blowing, gusting to 20 miles an hour at least. I'm gonna keep, can you see there? This is a nice Osprey utility. It's for your hiking poles, but it works for the umbrella too. So I'm gonna keep the umbrella on the side until I get over past Ropi Lake, probably. Just do all the cross country. It'll be easier, and I don't want to have to be worrying about the umbrella closing up. Okay, I better go. Very low on battery power here. Farewell, Desolation Lake. You're an absolute beauty. It only took me about 20 minutes to get over here. there's little Ropi Lake. The path that I took brought me almost to the perfect spot, it looks like. Might be a little bit too far north, but piece of cake from here. Well, here's the dam at Lake of the Woods. I'm making good time. I got here in about a half an hour. Almost back to the trail. Been quite windy. Too windy for my umbrella. But the temperatures are a little lower than expected, in the 70s. And big, huge winds. It's keeping me pretty cool. I'm hot, but I'm not, desperately sweating yet. I have that uphill climb after the Lake of the Woods trail, but that's not very far. I'm pretty strong. I'm gonna have to eat on the trail though. All I had was a oatmeal back at camp. Okay, we're saving juice here. Taking a little break about halfway up the Lake of the Woods trail. Actually, it looks like it's more than halfway up. Making great time. I just need to get some liquid in me, get some food in me before that uphill. I pulled out the umbrella after I got to Lake of the Woods. You don't need it that much along this trail, but it's easy to put on and it helps. There's a little bit of sun over there. I didn't have to walk through because I have my umbrella. Okay, talk to you later. Hell yeah, I done made it up here. Phew. So it's downhill for the rest of the way. All I need is a sign saying that the taxi is out of commission. That'll kill me. But this uphill was hard. I say goodbye to the area one last time. I took off from Desolation Lake like a bat out of hell and was going really well, and then halfway around Lake of the Woods I decided that I needed more food, more water, so I took a good long break and ate, drank. Met this nice old couple in their 70s with a sweet dog, but apparently the dog he likes to go ahead. She likes to go ahead. And she doesn't hear very well, and she kept going, it seems, or they weren't sure where she was when they got to the junction of the trail going this way. So he went around the lake a little bit, didn't find her, gave up and went this way, and they're ahead of me. I haven't caught up to them yet. I hope they have their doggy. I really do. They're really nice folk, and that was a real sweet doggy. Well, greetings campers, and hopefully this video will last before the battery runs out. I had a great hike. I arrived quickly. Probably would have got there by 3 o'clock, except for I stopped so often to meet interesting people. Met this nice couple, older couple, 70, 75, going around Lake of the Woods with their little dog, Sadie. And Sadie was way ahead, and Sadie's kind of deaf, so she couldn't hear them calling back. And Sadie kept going ahead on the trail, and they passed me as I was braking, but then I saw that the guy's pack was at the junction at the Lake of the Woods. They hadn't caught up to Sadie yet, and they're not sure which trail Sadie went on. So I sure hope that they caught up to Sadie. They're a really nice couple, and it was a really nice dog too. Talked to a really cool guy doing the Tahoe Rim Trail. Doing 2/3 of it, or 3/4 of it. He said he didn't have time to do it all. He had to start a job. But we got into talking about stuff we'd done and stuff we want to do, and he's a young guy. And pretty soon it became clear that he envied me. Is that the word? He was impressed that I was out there hiking. Even though I told him I only did this 4-mile hike, I stayed there for 2 days and didn't do much of anything. The fact that I was doing it, he was telling himself, man, I hope I'm doing it, you know, when I'm that guy's age. And then I met Derek, or was it Dexter? Shit. And Michael Cummings. I want to go with Derek. I like Derek better. Really cool guys. We're chatting with them. They're planning a long hike to Barker Pass and back. It sounds like they're powering over to Barker Pass and take their time on the way back. And they were wanting fisherman advice, which I'm not a fisherman, but I told them that there was no fish in the lake that I was at, or I didn't see any. But I mentioned Phipps Lake. If they go by Phipps Lake, there's a bunch of fish there. They were really happy to hear that. And they started taking off, and then they suddenly turned around and yelled at me, YouTube! They recognized me from my YouTube channel, and they said they looked at all the videos, because they're going through a whole bunch of areas that I've been on. So I actually stopped and chatted with people for quite a while, much more than I wanted to. But I can't say that I was feeling great on the whole day. I was feeling great doing on the cross country part, and then I started feeling a little sluggish going around Lake of the Woods and going up and over the Lake of the Woods trail. I started feeling kind of crummy, and even though after I did that part it was all, you know, downhill, still a little woozy, and I'm still a little woozy now. Like I'm going to eat and drink before I drive, not alcoholic beverages. And let's see, what else? Anything else? Man, good discussions on the boat too about the cabins around Echo Lake. One guy, the driver, his family has a cabin there, and he was telling us all about this restoration that they did. 10 years in the making. Half of that is in permits, you know, negotiating with permits and talking about permits, and then coming up with a plan, and then executing the plan. And the plan can only be executed in the 3 months of the summertime. It took 4 years, I think he said, to complete the restoration once it started. And talked about the firefighting efforts. The boats here at the chalet were ferrying firefighters 24 hours a day through the Caldor fire when they were fighting fires here. Said that a hotshot team from Utah, I think it was, came in, and they led 60 inmates, and they did a kick-ass job, and they saved every damn cabin. I can't believe that. I mean, that's really amazing. Even on the road out of here, and not just along the lake, but on the Echo Lakes Road, all those cabins were saved too. Okay, this thing is just about to run out of juice. It made it. Yay, good for that. So farewell from Echo Lakes. Another successful trip. I gotta say, okay, I'm not done yet. I'm a little worried about my condition. I did okay on this trip, but it was only 4 miles. I had plans to work my way up to doing more and more and more, and if I can't get into better shape, I won't be able to do that this year. I'll be stuck at about a 5 mile limit. So let's see if I go home and exercise tomorrow. All right, that's it. Later, campers.